An underground fairy tale. Teaser. Fade in. Exterior forest road, night. On the edge of a large market town, a dimly lit road climbs through a dense forest and up the side of a mountain. A sports car carves its way through winding roads. From the road, the trees on either side are too thick to see through them clearly, and after a few meters, the rest of the forest dips itself into shadow. Between the gaps in the trees, a full moon shines high above, lighting the way for this obnoxious and absurdly fast car. Interior, sports car, night. Inside the car now, we see Kyle, 20, driving this monstrosity of a vehicle. He wears a slightly oversized varsity jacket and sleek, jet black hair which has been gelled into neatly pointed spikes. His varsity jacket has the letters HHH embroidered onto the chest. Next to him, in the passenger seat, sits Holly, 19, with her delicate features, blonde hair, and blue eyes. The pair look like a walking cliché. As the car banks a corner, we can see that they're slowly making their way uphill. Holly looks out of the window into the darkness of the trees as they pass them by.
Who's going to be there?
The lads from the football team. A few girls from the netball team.
Sounds fun.
Kyle can sense the lack of enthusiasm.
Don't be like that. The lake's awesome. A few beers, skinny dipping. It'll be a blast.
Skinny dipping?
Yeah.
You want me to strip in front of all your mates?
Everyone will be doing it.
Holly rolls her eyes.
I'm telling you now, it ain't happening.
Babe, don't be like that.
The car turns a corner. Exterior forest, night. Something stirs within the darkness of the forest. A tree branch snaps. Dry fallen leaves crunch under the low, soft footsteps of something unseen in the shadows. Then we hear it. The sound of breathing. Something big is hiding in the blackness of the forest. In the distance, we hear the sound of the sports car as it slowly gets closer. The breathing gets louder. Interior, sports car, night. Kyle gazes at Holly for a moment, not fully concentrating on the road, and smiles as he admires her beautiful blonde hair in the moonlight that bleeds through the windscreen.
Come on, Hall, it'll be fun. Just try and enjoy yourself.
As Kyle turns his attention fully back to the road, something large and dark runs out in front of the car. Kyle slams on the brakes as Holly screams. The car hits the creature with an almighty smash, throwing it across the road. Both Holly and Kyle's airbags go off on impact, and their heads bury themselves deep within them. The car comes to a steaming stop. Interior, sports car, night, later. Through blurred vision, Kyle slowly begins to blink the scene back into consciousness. Kyle turns his attention over to Holly, who lays slumped and motionless next to him. Stretching out his hand slowly, he strokes her arm, shaking her gently, and she stirs to his touch. He shakes her again, trying to wake her from her somnolence. As the pair gain more focus, they both try to compose themselves. A small trickle of blood slices its way from Holly's nose and down onto her upper lip. She wipes the blood onto the back of her hand.
You hit something.
Huh, you think?
Kyle unbuckles his seatbelt and opens the car door. Exterior, forest road, night, continuous. The front of Kyle's sports car is dented completely in on itself. Smashed glass from the car's headlights litter the road. Steam slowly emanates from the crumbled bonnet as the hazard lights blink on and off. A short distance away from the car, illuminated only by the light of the full moon and the light of the blinking hazards, lays a black figure in the middle of the road. Holly, her nose still dripping slightly with blood, gets out and stands next to the car. Kyle cautiously begins to walk toward the figure.
What is it? Kyle?
Kyle doesn't answer, just slow steps closer and closer to the figure, half shadowed by the darkness of the night.
Is it a deer or something?
It's too big to be a deer. Looks more like a bear.
A bear?
Getting closer now, Kyle sees that the figure is covered in thick, jet black fur. It is in the shape of a wolf, only much larger. Now, upon the beast, Kyle circles it and sees the unconscious werewolf in full view.
Wow. Holly, come look at this thing.
Holly doesn't move from the side of the car.
What is it?
It's like a wolf.
Kyle kneels down beside the werewolf.
Be careful!
It's fine, it's dead. It's like a mountain wolf or something. I've never seen one so big before.
Kyle stares at the werewolf, then stands to face Holly. Being far enough away now, he can see the full extent of the damaged sports car behind Holly. Kyle throws his arms up in the air in exasperation.
Look at the state of my car.
Kyle takes a single step away from the werewolf, and as he does, the werewolf wakes up, revealing a pair of dark green eyes. The werewolf jumps up and onto Kyle in an instant, ripping into his flesh with his claws and teeth. Holly screams in terror as she watches her boyfriend being torn apart by the beast. Unable to stand the horror any longer, she turns and begins to run in the opposite direction, leaving the car and Kyle behind to his fate. Pinning Kyle to the floor, the werewolf continues clawing at him as he's thrashing to free himself. Finally, Kyle lays motionless, battered, bloodied, and dead in the middle of the road. In the distance, we hear the faint sounds of Holly screaming. Satisfied with its kill, the werewolf turns and heads at speed in the direction of Holly's screams.